culpable.
Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
Voices of the media institutions across our country due to their advocacy role being played here to ensure that this particular drug issue be unabatedly and holistically brought to the attention of the Liberian people, and by giving them a play-to-play description as it relates to what has been unfolding. If you may be aware, at Roseville, the NSA, the LDA, or perhaps the Joint Security conducted another investigation without the presence of the entire, media. It shows how selective this administration is when it comes to tackling the issue of drugs as well as mitigating it. But fellow Liberians, permit me to say to you, I am not the principal speaker here this afternoon. Chairperson for administration, Lawrence Spencer, who deputizes in the absence, of our honorable chairperson. You have my revolutionary salutation, and those of our own locals or our guests here this afternoon. Your presence here is particularly commendable, and we want to thank you for honoring our invite, by coming here to grace the occasion of our regular press release or our press briefing. So I'd like to welcome and bring forth to you, fellow Liberians and members of the media, the man who steered the affairs of the Indomitable National Youth Congress, the man who provides direction and we follow, the man who says this is the path for which the Youth Congress is about to take, and every one of us, without an ounce of question, take such a path. Chairman, Comrade Leader Aliyu Kadi, the platform is yours.
We are the Congress, we can't get tired. 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 We are the Congress, Viva, 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 you can't viva. Viva, 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 you find us viva. Viva, 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 AFC viva. Viva. Yo, we find a cartel. Yo, 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 backlash regime. Yo, 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 we find a senior government feature. Yo, 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 reaction never Tennessee. Reaction never Tennessee. Backlash regime. Backlash regime. Action regime. Fucking regime. Yo, backlash in the state. Yo, yo, now, the bigger you come like that now. Where to? No more debate because you are from more just in our country. Say, yeah. Rescue themselves now. Say.
Thank you, comrades. Want to extend our deepest appreciation to Comrade Media, and we say greetings to Liberian people on behalf of the political leader of the party,
Mr. Elizana Benedict Cummins, our national chairperson, Councillor Lafia Boo, and the executive committee member of our party in abstention, the National Executive Committee of the Indomitable National Youth Congress, Star Wars militants, brothers and sisters across the country. Welcome to another edition of the State of the Youth Report at about this time. Comrades, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of Liberia, and friends of justice around the world. We stand here today with fire in our hearts and truth on our tongues. We stand here today not to whisper, but to thunder. We stand here not to beg, but to demand. We stand here not as spectators of history, but as its actors. Liberia is bleeding. Liberia is betrayed. Liberia is under siege. And we, the young people, the Indomitable National Youth Congress, refuse to be silent. $500 billion worth of cocaine have been intercepted in our country. Yes, you get me right, $500 billion. This is not a mere crime. It is a war against the young people of the country. A war against the very soul of our republic. But what is most terrifying is not the judge themselves, it is the betrayal of those sworn to protect us. The NSA, the LDA, the Liberian National Police. The institutions meant to guard the nation are now implicated in guarding the cartel. We hear names of Johnny Boradin, Commissioner of Police for Criminal Investigation, Intelligence and Interpol. Patrick Doe, Deputy Director of Administration at the Liberian Security Agency, NSA. Wadel Debbie Kwabo, Chief of Highway Patrol. Anthony T. Bly, Chief of Financial Crime. They are the very architect of our security. And we hear whisper that rise to the highest level. The Vice President, the son of the President. The President's son, Jojo Boaka, has openly declared that he will not protect any friend involved in drugs trafficking. Yet, the very statement affirms that he was aware of such activities within his circle long before now. His words are not a principled stand, but a reactive measure after the scandal has already come to light. By admitting that he knew of these dealings and failed to act immediately, his declaration becomes nothing more than an attempt to distance himself from a crisis that is unfolding. Moreover, credible reports suggest that figures close to the Vice President, including a new associate who escaped custody, remain connected to narcotic trafficking. This is the reality of the state compromise. When the guardians of the republic become the gatekeepers of cartels, the nation itself is in peril. We do not trust this government to investigate itself. We do not trust a compromised hands to clean its own rot. We call upon the international community, the United States government, to take charge of this investigation. Let the truth be exposed. Let the guilty be named, and let the cartel be uprooted from the hearts of our governance. The president told us that he had 42 years of experience, but experience is not tested in comfort. It is tested in crisis. And in this crisis, the president has failed. Leadership is not a title, Mr. President. It is a responsibility. And when the young people are being poisoned, when the borders are being opened to smugglers, when the nation is being sold, leadership demands action. Mr. President, you need to be very decisive, or history will remember you not as a leader, but as a man who surrendered Liberia to the cartel. Comrades, as if narcotics were not enough, we now confront another betrayal, the scandal of Foya, Lofa County, a project worth $10 million US dollar, hidden from the people, shrouded in secrecy, and executed without transparency. And what is most astonishing, the president himself claims ignorance. Imagine the commander-in-chief, the chief administrator of the state, unaware of a multi-million-dollar project executed under his watch. We wrote, the ANC wrote, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. We demanded investigation, but they hesitate even up to quarrel. Why? Because the corporates are within the Unity Party-led government. They fear exposure. They fear accountability. These people fear the truth. The money belongs to the people, and the people demand answers. Audit the project, Mr. President. Expose the truth. Hold the guilty accountable. Liberia cannot be a playground for thieves while her children starve. Comrades, beyond FOIA and the drugs bust, we must confront the broader reality. Cartels are infiltrating every corner of our society. They are poisoning our schools, targeting our children, and deliberately weakening the next generation. This is not random. It is a calculated strategy to cripple Liberia's future. Economically, cartels drain our resources, undermines legitimate trade, and scare away investors. They entrench poverty while enriching themselves. If we allow the cartel to control our ports and trade routes, they will dictate the very terms of our survival. Comrades, the young people of Liberia will not allow drugs to destroy our future, will not allow corruption to steal our resources, will not allow betrayal to define our republic. We call upon the president to act, and act now. We call upon the international community to intervene. And we call upon the people of Liberia to rise, to resist, and demand accountability. Thank you.
So we will take 2 questions from each media personnel here that will be directed to the chairperson. And please make your questions very succinct so that the chairman can have a proper understanding of what you are intending to convey in respect to how he is going to respond to you. So let us get Online Power.
All right, my name is Samson Mosire and I report for Online Power. Mr. Chairman, of recent, the opposition, there have been numerous posts in the opposition community calling on the government to act now on this just issue, or there will be a united opposition protest. How effective is that statement?
Yes, that is a very powerful statement. It is not a threat to the government. It is a clarion call that the people of this country know their rights. It is a clarion call to the government that enough is enough. You cannot use propaganda to sway the people out of this drug crisis. So the opposition, being conscious of her responsibility, have decided to take on deliberate steps in an attempt to vibrate the system, to allow the rescue cartel to know that people are around and people are watching, and when people demand accountability. So the protest action is actually a true statement in the opposition corridor. Conversations are ongoing. We are going to rally the people around this issue because it is a bipartisan issue. It has nothing to do with politics. In this country, drugs is one issue that is bipartisan. There are people who have been victims of drugs in the Unity Party, so we expect them to join us in our call to the government to take decisive action, not the political action we see the government taking. So that statement is valid.
The follow-up to that,
Your last question,
yes, the follow-up to that is a member of the opposition community or sister party is a sister political leader, Mr. Musa Hassan recently today made a post saying whatever planned protest that we had in mind for September has been postponed to a later date. Do you support that statement?
No, that we have, as ANC, we have nothing to do with the decision of CMC. CMC is an independent political party outside of the political structure and framework of the ANC. So whatever happens in CMC, it is the prerogative of those in CMC. So respect the CMC decision. The ANC has our own decision to make.
Yeah, Front Page Africa.
Great. Mr. Chairman, Frederick Boy, I read for the famous Front Page Africa newspaper. Several times we have come to the state of the youth report, and you always made mention of the governor of Liberia MRU project in Lofa County because of US media. And today again, you talk about the same project and calling for accountability, asking whether the project reached a full structure in terms of the PPCC framework and everything. So all of the calls you have made in terms of accountability or follow up to that project, and nothing seems to have you any proof. So what's going to be your next course of action? Because you always mentioning this particular project.
So there are a lot of remedies available to us. Just yesterday, we wrote another follow-up communication to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. The reason why the government is hesitating, because there's a government, remember, the president came and said he's going to fight corruption. He showed that public money are spent wisely. So this is one time that the president has to live up to that statement. Including the LCC, they said citizens can help with pointing out some excesses in government, wrongful spending and misappropriation, so that they can come in and investigate. But surprisingly, they are not living up to that. And the ANC is not willing to back down anytime soon. We just wrote a follow-on letter reminding the LCC that that project remains a crime scene in Lofa County because God is not throwing things down from heaven again. Manna is not falling from heaven. How is it possible for everyone to go to bed and next morning we saw concrete rising for Fuya? It warrants investigation. So the LCC is reluctant because people, the corporates are in the Unity Party government. Those who funded that project, or is it some of the drugs money that funded the project? We need to know. So the government has to come up clean. We have a lot of remedy. We have legal remedy. We have political remedy. But the people are watching. Whatever decision the government takes, the people are going to hold it and record it on the scorecard of the Unity Party government.
Yeah, Pram.
Okay, my name is Favor Kubo. I report for Prime FM. So, Mr. Cummings' description as a 1% candidate is not only coming from the ruling Unity Party or its alliances. Recently, Mr. Eugene Len Nangbe appeared on OKFM and he was asked, why isn't Mr. We are talking too much in the country on other national issues? So he said, well, what did the 1% candidate achieve during the 2023 elections? Well, he talked a lot. I mean, we're hearing from the corridor that you are collaborating with the CDC and they keep calling you 1% candidate, your political leader. What is it from the angle of the ANC Youth Congress? Do you guys feel comfortable working with the CDC now that they are referring to your candidate as 1%?
You know, that question normally comes from Unity Party people thinking that they can blackmail us. For the record, we printed shot and say we are proud 1%. So it doesn't provoke us. We say we are proud 1%. But what is confusing, however, is that this 1% disturbs almost everybody in the country. Why are you talking about 1% if you are not bothered? You know, I gave you a scenario. The Union Party said the ANC criticized the CDC. We said you were one of the worst parties to have ever come to power. Why are you working with the CDC? The very United Party people refused to ask the question, why did the ANC work with the United Party after 12 years of governance? The United Party represents some of the darkest pages in the leadership history in the country. We work with them, conscious of the fact that you need to work with people irrespective of the fact that you have different opinions. The same United Party that want us to believe that CDC is so bad today, but their president, Joseph Burger, with Tomo Farah. So what are you saying? You have no moral. Keep quiet. These are the same people who is working with, they are working with Kando Bagbara. He was the spokesperson of the CDC. So the CDC is this bad. Why would Joseph Burger be working with Tomo Farah, Sir Joseph, Zoe Peno, and all these people? So it's okay for the United Party to work with other Liberians, but it's not okay for the ANC. I think that is hypocritical. And for us, we say we proud 1%, and we'll take 1% of us to change this country.
But this coming from the CDC.
It's not coming from the CDC. It's coming from an individual. The CDC has hierarchical structure. We know the chairman of the CDC. We know the.
Well, you're responding to a question from the angle of CDC.
But the question is, if you say it's coming from the CDC, then you have to tell the capacity of the individual in the CDC. In what capacity? That is, speak as the chairman of the CDC, as the secretary general, as the youth chair of the CDC. He has no place in the hierarchical structure of the CDC. So when we respond to him, we use our own pundits and proponents of the ANC to respond to him. We do not take it as face value as the CDC responded. If the CDC responded to the ANC, obviously we reserve the right to respond, but we don't see Eugene as CDC.
Okay.
So yeah, so very true.
Thank you. So my name is Emmanuel T. Commander. I report for Viral News. And then in your press statement, you make mention of whispers in the corner that the Vice President, Jeremiah Kun, and then Jojo Bwaka are all involved in this whole famous drugs issue. But there are people, most prominent people like we saw this morning on Facebook, Edwin Snow and others, who are praising the step of the president as it relates to this measure and suspension. So why it takes from your angle as it relates to investigation on a full scale for the Vice President or Jojo Bwaka?
It takes nothing away. It only reinforces our position, because don't take ANC war. The police director in the country said there are very, very senior government officials. So directors in ministry are not very, very senior government officials. That kind of power is resident within the presidency, is resident within the leadership of the legislature, is resident within the judiciary. Those are the places we're looking at. And what is interesting, without accusing the vice president, like you rightly said, we say whisper. But how is it that this vice president, no bad thing can happen in the country when I mention the many? What is wrong with this vice president? He has to check himself. Everything women pay mention the vice president need. When things are going wrong to the point, they mention the vice president need. When people are taking from that position, they mention the vice president need. Even there was a guy who was on live camera at the DEA. He said he works in the vice president office and he went there to free an alleged Judge Dito. What is it with this vice president? The vice president needs to check himself. I think the quest for naked power is a dangerous thing for the vice president. There are people who were captured in photos. Like the vice president said, oh, I'm a public servant. You are not the only public servant in the country. So that cannot be exclusive for the vice president. There are other public servants. But people escape from prison and they caught them in photo with you is problematic.
So are you saying the investigation is on a slow pace and there's a need for more rampant work? Like
the investigation is skinny. They are thinking we are still in campaign season. We know most of the people you mentioned, some of their accounts, not even up to 100,000 years. We're discussing almost 500 million jobs. Some say 370, some say 318, 370, whatever the case is. All the people they are ransacking, these are poor people. They are not capable of bringing that amount of jobs in the country. People must have given it. For example, the president said people escorted jobs. But what about those who gave the order? So you have to be holistic. You have to dig deeper in on everything. The very people who are entrenched in the system that are enabling the job. Other than that, you are on charade. The president is bluffing. Yes, we acknowledge what the president did, but we think there are people who are entrenched in the state architecture at the very highest echelon of the leadership in the country that are enabling these jobs.
Yeah, okay, FM.
Yeah, my name is John David. After the burning of the drug, there was some, remarks from some members of the opposition about the speedy burning of the drug. Why? The investigation is still ongoing. So, what is your take as a youth chair?
For me, I don't believe these people burn Jaws. I think they burn something else. Because if you watch the scene, you saw police people dancing. If you are burning Jaws, all the people will get high. So they're dancing, burning old tire. The reason why we don't trust the police, these are the very enabler. These people get in highway patrol car and escorting drugs. So we don't trust them with the execution. Look at Gregory Coleman. All the people around him, they are conflicted, indicted. Only him standing. You think he's the scene in the police? This Gregory Coleman man arrested money on the scene. And he telling all that 7,000 as if to say the cartel member just can 7,000 exactly say that what Gregory would take. It's unfortunate he can do that. Gregory was caught on live camera. Another general asking him, but you were in the country, you are there. You should be open and accept every question. So we don't believe, considering the fact that these are the same enablers, we don't believe what they did is even something that we can take.
Yo, I found a point. Yo.
So we don't believe in what Gregory is saying. Gregory on his own. Yeah.
Kia.
Yeah, so my name is Jefferson. I want to ask you a question. Recently, the ANC have been in conversation with the CDC. Just days ago in the US, the CDC political leader, former President George Bush, declared that he will be a 2029 presidential candidate. With the conversations that you've been having with the CDC, has this declaration been resonating with you?
We are declaration. Our political leader went on school and said you'll be a candidate in 2029. How did it resonate with the CDC? The CDC is a political institution. The CDC has within its own purview to announce anything. President Weah is the political leader of the CDC. He has the right to say he's contesting. We in the ANC, we reserve the right to say Mr. Kumi is contesting. However, in the opposition space, we are cognizant of the fact that one political party can win election like you. That is a given. And so, being aware of that, we are not oblivious of the fact that we shouldn't collaborate because even the foreign government is in an alliance. So, President Weah knows, on CDC, CDC can win, on ANC, ANC can win, on CMC. So, all these institutions have their own political leaders. All of them have presidential ambition. That's why they are political parties. But when we come to have a conversation around an opposition ticket, then everybody will have to narrow their ambition and have a conversation around it. But as it stands, all the political leaders won't be president. When we come on the table, then we can synchronize those ambitions and meet each other interests of convergence.
Finally, members of the public have this belief that the opposition seems weak. That with other things happening, recent statement from police RG accusing entire government, senior government officials, and in fact the media as well, that members of the cartels have been paying some members of the media to shame the government. But it seems as though the opposition is not making effort in bringing the government to the fire.
So, most time when people say opposition weak, they are speaking in terms of opposition capacity to bring cookie in the country. So we are weak in that regard. We don't have what it takes to bring cookie. The government has it, so the government is powerful. Right? We don't have what it takes to take people from turning position. So we are weak in that regard. We don't have what it takes to remove a certain speaker and put in a regime speaker. So we are weak in that regard. We don't have capacity to steal government money and be a project in 4 years. So we are weak in that regard. Right? We don't have what it takes to bring cartel in our country. We don't have those powers. All of the things they criticized yesterday, they are effectively doing it today. But the Liberian people are watching, they are not stupid. These people think that they have overwhelming many of the Liberian people. No, the country is divided down the middle. The one with a margin of error. So you should be humble. Be humble. The opposition is not weak. The opposition is not just lying and the way you lie your way into power. We are confronting you on the basis of the evidence. So you think to be a powerful opposition is to lie and scheme? No, we are not lying and scheming. We are shining light on your excesses, your failures. And that is our strength. We do not need unity party to define our strength. We in opposition will know our strength. Thank you.
Yes, so if we do not have any other question ranging from members of the media, we'd like to say thank you for coming to our State of the Youth report, another edition. We hope to see you here the first Saturday in the month of September. So we'd like to say thank you so very kindly to the Liberian people that followed through, and we want to again re-emphasize that the Alternative National Congress stands as the lone political institution that is here for and on behalf of the Liberian people. Thank you very much and see you another time.
LIB, stand up. Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.